Hi everyone, this is Michael for Spirit Comics. Welcome to another review. This one is of Hulk #1. Came out in December of 2016. This is the new Jennifer Walters book. Now the cover is kind of strange. There's no color here for the figure that I can see other than gray and white. And the backdrop is goldish yellow, so the cover looks unfinished. But I do like the texture for the hair. Into the story. It says, Jennifer Walters has always battled for justice, whether it was as a razor-sharp attorney in the courtroom or as her sensational alter ego, superhero She-Hulk. Okay, that right there is kind of strange because she was never known as superhero She-Hulk. It was just She-Hulk. She was always known as a superhero. But recent events have shaken Jen to her core. During the Civil War, something I didn't read, She-Hulk suffered critical wounds during a clash with Thanos and fell into a coma. When she awoke, she learned that her cousin, Bruce Banner, aka the original Hulk, was executed by fellow superhero Hawkeye. Jen is awake, healing, but what will the world hold for her now? The She-Hulk is no more. Jen is now Hulk. Deconstructed Part 1. Writer Mariko Tamaki. Artist Nico Leon. Color artist Matt Milla. And cover artist Jeff DeCall. Okay. Now we open up with an element taken from her older comics when she would talk to the reader. She's in her condo there in New York City. She says, yes, it could use a cleanup. Back off. And then we see her talking to herself. Okay, Jen, get it together. First day back, no big deal. This is what you do. Other people sit in their houses, wallowing, recovering, whatever. You go to work. You're ready. It's time. Today's the day. Damn it. Stupid mirror. She's really making an effort to go to work after all she's been through. But she is not going to project herself as the beautiful woman she was because she feels horrible inside. So she's going to look pretty much horrible. She says to herself, it's going to be fine. How about shut up already, stupid inside voice. And then she closes her laptop, still talking to herself, thinking, my heart is pounding. I should have eaten breakfast. Why didn't I eat breakfast? Because I feel like throwing up. Amazing. And if you notice, when she puts her hand on the door to her apartment, she's slowly turning it because it's taking everything she has just to open that door. Jennifer Walters has a form of PTSD from her battle with Thanos. But she's trying to get out the door, so she tells herself, oh my God, Jen, just do it already. Well, that sucked. Let's see if you can handle the subway and being a lawyer. So next we see her on a New York subway. On a New York subway train. She says, say what you will about New York. Sometimes it's nice living in a place that doesn't give a crap about your crap. And while she's thinking all this stuff, she's hearing all this noise around her. And she's tuning it out. Then she gets to work, thinking old law firm, new office, a few familiar faces. Patsy, that's Hellcat, said it would be good to work somewhere fancy, nice, solid. The kind of place that thinks getting you a water means ice and a glass. Okay, it's a new start. Chill out, Jen. She's really having to work herself through this experience because she's been through a lot. She goes to introduce herself, and this guy immediately knows who she is. Good morning, my name is Miss Walters. Yes, I am Bradley, your assistant. I have you all set up down the hall, first door on the left. You've got your keys, passcodes, it's all in the office. She's thinking everything is normal. And you've got a client. Sorry, she insisted on coming in. It's a Miss Brune, eviction case. No problem, she says. Back to work. No big deal, she tells herself. And then she tells herself, hi there, everyone in the office. She's starting to feel overwhelmed, because you can see it in her eyes in the upper right-hand panel here, where she's saying, thank you, Mr. Scott. David, it's good to see you, to meet you in person. And then another person comes up and, shakes her hand. This woman introduces herself, and you can see the anxiety building in her eye here in the middle panel. And then this woman says something that I think was really arrogant. Jen, you're not as green as I imagined. I mean, you're going to be in this form? And she simply says, yes. Because she was clearly annoyed. I would be too. So she finds her office. Jennifer Walters. There. How about it's none of your business if I'm green or not? Okay. She's opening her door. It's black as can be. She hears some shuffling. She's not sure what's going on, so she turns on the light. And then she sees this woman and freaks out. I would too. Ah! And the woman apologizes and said that she thought, that she was informed that she was waiting in there. And she said, and tells Jennifer that she doesn't go out because that makes her not comfortable. And Jennifer tries to smile and says, heart attack, it's fine, would you like to take a seat? And so she tries to be as gracious as she can to the client. And she opens up some blinds to let the light in, to try and help the mood, I believe. And so she asks the woman about what's happening, and she says that she's being evicted. And Jennifer asks if she got a notice about it. And the woman says, not a notice, just Mr. Tick. He comes banging on my door. He says, you have a week to get out. Jennifer's like, and nothing before this? I mean, he's a jerk, but not, get out. And you've paid your rent every month on time, because she's a lawyer. She has to cover all the bases. And then she thinks, well, maybe he's harassing her. So she asks, has he harassed you in the past? And the woman, I don't think she's listening to Jennifer, because she says, he told me my checks were bad once, but he cashes them. And so she shows all the receipts of her checks and says that she can't lose her apartment because she doesn't leave her house. And she says, I was attacked. And then changed. I have restorative powers, so nothing hurts me. Hurt me, but this was bad. I was in hospital for 3 months, Your firm helped with my case. Afterward, I couldn't teach, can't leave my home. And you can clearly see the shock on Jennifer's face. And then the way her hands shake when she's trying to explain everything to Jennifer. I try and I get, and now Jennifer becomes really serious. I understand, Miss Brune. I do. I will look into this immediately. And then she tells Jennifer that she has to get home before it gets dark. So far, we've not seen any action in this first issue, and I'll tell you right now, there isn't any in this first issue, but I believe it's basically setting up the tone for the series, because everything needs a foundation. That's just, common sense. So anyway, Miss Brune told her about everything that was going on and said that she needed to get home. So Jen says, I don't want you to talk to your landlord anymore, okay? Just give him this card and a note that says he can contact me directly. We'll send an official letter as well. Talking very much like a lawyer, because she is one. I'm going to check and see if Mr. Tick has filed anything with the courts, and I will let you know where we stand. She says, I can't lose my home. Jennifer tries to reassure her, saying, I'm going to do my very best to make sure that doesn't happen. And Miss Brune says, promise you'll stop this? And Jennifer, knowing her limitations, says, I don't think good lawyers make promises like that, Miss Brune. I can promise I will do my very best. And so Miss Brune leaves with a smile on her face and says under her breath, in a very hushed tone, that's a promise. And she goes back outside to her assistant, Bradley, and says, okay, what's next? And then he says, well, let's see. And this is the waiting room. Apparently, this law firm specializes in very strange cases. And you can tell that caught Jennifer by surprise, to say the least. And then here she is, closing up because she's getting ready to go home. Too late to still be in the office. So she's walking home. She gets a text from her friend Patty, also known as Hellcat. Hope your first day back went well. And she thinks to herself, see, everything is okay. Everything's going to be fine. Thanks, voice. So she's walking home. She's trying to, get back home. It's been a day for her. And you know what that means. She's just trying to keep it together. Thanks for the update. What would I do without you, voice? Hello, Miss Walters, I presume. Somebody just sort of blindsides her out of nowhere and says, Florida Mayor, but you can call me Flo. I thought Flo was a woman's name, as in Florence. He says, we don't have an appointment. This is just an unscheduled attempt at a first visit. Since you haven't taken any of my calls, She says, this is a private residence. You can clearly see that she is ticked off by this. And he says that he knows she's thinking that he's some kind of tabloid nut, but he's got all these degrees in sociology, social work, blah, blah, blah. And that he's writing a book about trauma. And she says, you have 5 seconds to get away from my door. And he says, I want to write about what happened to you, to Bruce. And that catches her attention. and she continues to ignore him, thinking trauma. So she goes back upstairs to her apartment, and you can see that she is clearly overcome with anxiety by the look on her face, by the way she's moving her hand, by the green that's coming over her face and the baring her teeth and the green in her eye. She gets off of the elevator, and she's clearly punched the elevator because she's, trying to keep it together. Now, back in her apartment, she's thinking, like I'm walking away, like this is anything I can run from. It's there, it's here, it's always here. I'm holding it together with both hands, but it's too much. And she opens up her laptop to the internet cooking show that she enjoys. She thinks, stop, stop. She grabs her head, and she feels herself transforming into She-Hulk. She thinks, this is what happens now when I think about what happened to me. It used to feel strong, changing, becoming something powerful. Now it feels like dying, like a truck driving through my head, like every hurt is right there pouring through me. And she is on the verge of changing, because you can see it in her face, how the capillaries around her eyes are bursting out. She falls to the floor, thinking, it feels like I'm dying all over again every time I hear his name, every time I think about Hawkeye, Thanos. And she grabs her chest. She's in a horrible shape. Who told me about baking videos? Maybe it was a nurse. She said she couldn't cook, but believed the art of cooking could soothe the savage beast. And so she listens to the cooking show, and she just lays there resting, or trying to rest. And then we see that Miss Brune back at home, and it seems like she's talking to herself. I saw a lawyer today. She seems smart. I wish lawyer Fred was around. Fred was so good when the bad thing happened. She looks in a direction there in her apartment, saying, I can't leave. I'm not going to have to leave, the lawyer promised. And she looks kind of hopeful. She looks up at something. But you will protect me, right? No matter what. I don't have to worry, because no matter what, you will protect me. You promise, right? And then this voice comes from nowhere. It says, yes. And she looks happy. She never leaves her apartment, literally. And this is a preview of issue 2 to come next. And the cover is much better than issue 1. It shows how Jennifer Walters still struggles with changing into She-Hulk. And that's it for this review. Issue 1 was not really a disappointment. I wish there had been more action, but there wasn't any. This was just setting the groundwork for the issues to come. So I can respect it for that. And I would recommend this comic book to anyone who wants to get into stories about Jennifer Walters. So, next time, I'll be reading, and I'll be reviewing issue 2. So, stay tuned, true readers. And do not forget, please subscribe to this channel if you have not already, because my channel, Spirit Comics, is small. Also, smash that bell so you'll be notified of all new uploads. Like the video and share it with other people so they will know about Spirit Comics as well. And that's all for now. Till next time.